Day after Pearl Harbor, I went to join the Marine Corps. I was 18, and they didn't take me. And I kept saying, well, what's wrong? They said, you got tuberculosis. So in them days, if you had a spot on your lung, you automatically had tuberculosis. So I went to Cook County Sanitarium for TB. I was in there 6 weeks, and the doctor says, get the hell out of here, you ain't got TB. I'd have probably been on Guadalcanal with the Marines. But they'd bring you back every 6 months and check you. I come back in February of 1943. It was the same, so they drafted me. So they sent me into they said, you want to join the Air Force? I says, no. Infantry, boom. So where did they send me? Fort Bliss, Texas, in the anti-aircraft training. Then sent me to Camp Hahn, California, advanced anti-aircraft training. Then from there I went to Camp Carson, Colorado for infantry training. Went from there to Camp Gruber, Oklahoma, advanced infantry training. By that time, Normandy had ended. They sent us to, I think it was called Camp Shanks, New York. And we were there, and what happened is they'd lost so many troops from Normandy to northern France, they needed a bunch of replacements. And what they did, they sent us to Le Havre, France. And then we went, and I was assigned to 30th Infantry Division. The Siegfried line was being cleared out by the engineers, but they had trouble because of the shoe mine, which had no metal in it, and they couldn't detect it. What happened, we all had 3-day passes to Paris. And we got up in the morning, the sergeant says, where are you going? I said, we're going to Paris. He says, like hell you are, you're going to Belgium. The Germans broke through, the Battle of the Bulge. We went in, just started going in from one city to the other and seeing a bunch of slaughter. SS troopers killed a whole bunch of townspeople, babies, women, children, because they said they were traitors. And but we went from there, and we kept moving pretty good. Went to Normandy, Belgium. The thing I remember most about Normandy too was we had one guy got the Congressional Medal of Honor. His name was Hickory from New York State. What happened, he knocked out 3 American tanks, killed 17 American soldiers. What happened is they were Germans. He'd asked one of them, he says, are you going to the Rose Bowl this year? The guy says, no, I don't do the flowers. So that day, we did something simple like that, and he knew right away it was a Kraut. And he machine gunned them all down. The kid was crazy. He had a bazooka and a lot of rounds and knocked out the 3 tanks. Well, in the infantry, you dig your foxhole, you might get about a foot deep, and they say, moving out. That might happen 3-4 times. And we'd march at night, and I'd go sound asleep walking. And the only thing that would wake you up, I'd bump into a rifle in front of me. And it's just, when you're in the infantry, you have no regular sleeping time. And I proved that from 155 to 115 in 38 days. Because I went to the hospital in Holland. I caught double pneumonia and frozen toes. I was in the hospital 2 weeks. We crossed the Roer River, and as we were going down to cross the river, the mortar fire coming in. Well, they built a bridge across, the engineers. And I was running toward it, and the mortars come in, and I laid head first in the water. I said, I'm going to be back in the hospital again, but I never did, so. We went to we were kind of off duty for a while until we got ready to cross the Rhine River. And I remember that night had the biggest artillery barrage by American soldiers in the history of the world. As a matter of fact, in the morning it was so much fire into the 155, the 105s, you could actually, it was brighter than it is here now. I helped a guy do home improvements over the years, and we stopped by a woman down here in the area, in the Mount Vernon area, and she asked me, you were in World War II? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what hotel did you stay in at night? I said, we stayed at the Sheraton in Paris. The Sheraton was not in existence then. But she believed it, and the guy I helped do home improvements was a Vietnam vet. He was dying laughing.